This one mistake is killing your reach and sabotaging your growth. And I see a lot of agents doing this for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 13 years, and you don't want this to be you. What's that mistake? Putting all of your eggs in one basket. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, how you are going to develop a strategy so you're not stuck putting all of your eggs in one basket, because that is what most agents do. I'm Dominique and welcome to the Domino Effect. And on this channel, we provide realtors and agents with all the tools they need to get that visibility online. There's a lot of noise out there, so you really got to dig in through all this information. So the best way to do that is to get informed, which is exactly why I created this channel, because I work with a lot of real estate agents, a lot of offices, a lot of brokerages, and iHouse Web has been around for 30 years. This is all they do. There is a very, very, very common theme that I see across the board, and it's no pain, no growth, same income, same routine, no results, lots of money wasted, no foundation, and burnout. If that sounds like you, well, then you're in the right place, because today we're talking about how you can diversify so you're not caught in a situation putting all of your eggs in one basket. Because I've talked to an agent who was in business for 6 years and was still relying only on referrals. Now, don't get me wrong, referrals are strong, and I love referrals. Hint, hint, I love referrals. But guys, referrals are only one source, and they do take up a while to build. When you're building that trust with somebody, it's not an overnight thing. It can take a couple of years. I talked with a couple clients. One client took him 5 years to build up a referral pipeline. Another he worked with for 10 years before they finally started referring clients over. This was an attorney relationship that he had developed. So referral relationships take time. And once you've built that, it's excellent, right? Excellent source. But that's not the function of a website. The function of a website is to work alongside you, to work with you on the back end and drive new business in the form of buyers and sellers that are searching online. And guys, over 90% of searches start online. They're searching for the home. Then secondly, they would search for the agent, but primarily they're searching for the home. So if you don't have a system, if you don't have visibility, if you don't have ownership, well, then you're just shit out of luck. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're going, well, this is just kind of what I've been doing. Because what do they call that? Settling for the devil you know. That's just being comfortable with the status quo. And what's worse is talking with agents who know it doesn't work, but are willing to just keep shelling out $200, $300, $400, $500 a month just because that's what they know. You don't have to do that. You need to get some control back, because we're in 2026. Hard work isn't the problem. I talk with a lot of agents who are busy, right? Now you guys are busy in your business. You don't want to be busy working on the technical side of this, especially when it's not built correctly. You're going to be spending a lot of time working on a website that is not built correctly. That's like working on a car and you don't have the right parts to actually fix the car. So you can go out there, you can spend a lot of hours tinkering on it and building and doing whatever, but it's never actually going to run because you're not putting the right parts in it. So what most agents do, unfortunately, is they believe a lot of the hype. So they just kind of go along with whatever their brokerage provides. A lot of Compass agents will end up with a company like Luxury Presence. Luxury Presence tends to partner with a lot of brokerages. So what happens then, and this is not a dig at brokerages, this is just how the system works. What happens then is the brokerage will incentivize their agents with a free website. Excellent. Unfortunately, though, the website does not have the saved searches on there, which is the data that Google needs to actually find your site, crawl it, index it, and drive traffic to it. So while it is a benefit, you do get some really great tools from your brokerage, it doesn't do anything for your visibility, your market. So what happens is a lot of agents will tend to either upgrade to their most expensive package because it's the only package where you can actually get the saved searches that are going to get you visible, or they tend to just stay with the status quo knowing it doesn't work, or eventually go back to a broker website. So you got to dig into what all of these strategies are, because if you go with a brokerage provided website, a lot of those leads that come in, any referral that comes in through the brokerage stays with the brokerage. So if you ever leave that company, that office, well, that book of business stays with them. And I've talked with a few where they're able to take that book of business, but for most agents, that book of business stays with them. And some have gotten locked out of their system. Some have like completely lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of clients. So you don't want to be stuck in that situation. Now, when you step outside and you look into a personal IDX website, you want to just not sign up for one because they have IDX, because they're pulling in your listings. That's another thing that's happening with a lot of agents is they just go, well, I need an IDX feed. I'm just going to go with this one. It's the cheapest one. That sounds about right. Well, guess what? You're going to get what you pay for, because any type of company, any platform that uses a third-party provider like IDX Broker, iHome Finder, Dynamic IDX, any type of Blue Roof 360, Brivity uses Blue Roof 360, any type of plugin that's coming in is working against you, okay? Because Google likes everything coming from one source. So if you have a platform and now I'm pulling in another vendor, that's fragmenting down your data. And Brivity has a very strong CRM platform, but they partner with the brokerage, right? You see how they intertwine all of these things, and so you start to use the brokerage provided CRM. And if you ever want to leave that brokerage, then a lot of agents are hesitant. They're like, I feel like I'm tied to it. I need to leave that, keep it, even though I know that the website doesn't work for me. So they'll keep it because they have the CRM functionality, even though they know the website doesn't work. You don't have to do that. There are platforms out there like iHouse Web that are all inclusive, that have been around longer than Luxury Presence and all of these other companies. One thing you got to remember is, what are you looking for? Are you looking for traffic? Are you looking for leads, credibility, authority online? What is it that you want to accomplish, right? No matter what you're looking to accomplish, the primary purpose of a real estate website is to showcase your business, is your digital business card, the listings, so your clients have access to the MLS. Sellers can reach out to you when they want to sell their home as well, and to drive new business as well. That's the purpose of the website. So if you're going to get a website and use it as a landing page, well, you can do that, but essentially you're just dumping money into something that doesn't work. And I don't know about you, but I don't like doing that. Okay, I don't like doing that. I like to get a return on my investment. I like to see that any type of money I'm putting to work is actually going to give me something back. I would assume most of you do as well. So make sure that you're not settling and just becoming content with the devil that you know. I can't tell you how awful it is to hear agents say, well, you know what? I just don't want to spend a lot of time on this, even though I know it doesn't work. If you times your payment by 12, that's a lot to just be like, it doesn't work. And if you think about it over like the span of 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that is a ton of money that could have been redirected into your business that could actually have helped you turn a profit. So make sure that you're having a great strategy here. A lot of agents will think, well, how about they'll get frustrated because maybe the platform that they went with, like Brivity, like Luxury Presence, like, let's real geek social, like Luxury Presence, they didn't give them any type of visibility. And they get frustrated, or maybe they tried out another marketing company or somebody else. They brought on a developer and they didn't build this out. Real estate websites, that's a very specific structure. So they have to be built out specifically. So if you're going to bring on somebody from like Upwork or Fiverr, you're taking a risk. I've talked with agents who say, I have an IT guy working on it, or I have a social media gal working on it. Your IT guy works on your hardware. Your social media gal works on your social media. These are all different things, guys. That is not your marketing on your website and how Google analyzes your website and crawls it and drives traffic to it. One thing I want to point out is a lot of these other platforms, what they'll do is they'll have agents thinking that they have this visibility online because they're pulling in tools like your Google Maps. Google Maps is going to allow you to show up in real estate agent near me type searches when you have it set up. But no matter what platform you go to, that traction will still come in. So that's not the website. Remember, that is separate. If you have a dashboard, go into your dashboard and see where is your traffic coming from, because you don't want to let this keep going. Remember, we don't have a lot of time. Why keep investing and dumping money into a system that you know does not work. That's insanity. So we don't want to do that. You also don't want to be overspending on ads. And I find this a lot with Sync. Okay, Sync be killing agents. Like I'm talking like 4, 5, 600. I talked with an agent who was paying $2,000 a month for his Sync platform for getting zero visibility, zero traffic, no presence online in front of his market. They were killing him on paid ads, right? But what happens? He was spending a lot of time digging through those paid ads. Paid ads, you want to add on paid ads, right? That creates a really robust platform. But you don't bring them in without a strong foundation. Where are you sending them? How are they going to convert? Also, you need to understand that sometimes if you're overspending and you're doing like $2,000 on a paid ad budget and you don't have a system in place, that is a really, really easy way to max out your budget. And that goes fast. So you want to have a system in place. Why spend $1,500 on a platform that charges management fees? This is going to take that 25% out of it. So you're thinking you're putting $500 towards your ad spend, but really you're probably putting like $350 or something like that. So be aware, be advised. Now, some agents say, well, don't care. They want to do this, right? They're like, I don't care. I just want to dump all of this on my paid ads and go for it. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But what the most successful agents do is they build a strong foundation and then they bring in all those tools. They're simultaneously doing their social media, but you don't rely on social media only. I've talked with other agents who are literally getting rid of their website, don't even have the MLS listings, pulled the MLS listings off of the site. Why? Now your clients, like that's the very purpose of having it there. So that's why I'm so committed to making these training videos so that you can have some insight on what your next move, your best move is moving forward, because all of those actions will lead to one result, and that is missed income, missed business opportunities, and wasted spend. You are in business to make money, to grow, to scale, to help your clients in their home buying journey, and you can't help people if they don't know you're there. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do a site review, a site audit, if you want to call it, and you're going to go into Google. I want you to go into Google and I want you to search your property types. Are you doing single family? Are you doing luxury? What price points are you working within? Is it waterfront? What is it? What city is it in? Put it in there and search from a buyer perspective. And does your website pop up? Don't put your name, okay? Don't put your name. Remember, this is organic search. Put the properties in because we're searching how most buyers search online. Okay, so put the properties in that you specialize in, and if your site doesn't pop up, well, then your site is not properly built, and you need to reach out and use the links below to schedule with one of our advisors and make sure that we get your site up and running, because you don't want to keep dumping it. Coffee is an expense, right? Coffee is an expense. Your website is an investment. Don't just treat it like a cup of coffee that you would just not, throw away and once you're done. A cup of Starbucks coffee that you go in, you grab and you toss it. Don't treat your site like that. This is your business card, and we're in 2026. Everything is going digital now. So as much as you may hate that, you got to go with the times. You got to roll with the punches. So go into Google. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do that audit. And if it doesn't come up, you need some work, and you need to work on it right away, because getting ranking in Google is not an overnight process. And anybody that tells you that, red flag. It's not an overnight process. It takes time for Google to recognize and index the site, for it to gain some traction. It can take a few weeks. So be advised that this is not something that you want to keep kicking down the road. It's not something that's going to change unless you change it. And I know a lot of us think, well, I'm going to call and they're going to tell me that. Here's the thing. You're going to call and you're going to make a scene and you're going to be upset. But hey, guess what? You signed a contract with them. That's what they're going to tell you. You signed a contract. Too bad. It is what it is. That is what you're going to get back. And they might give you a little band-aid, might throw a blog feature in here. Maybe we'll reduce your monthly payment for 2 months. It doesn't matter. You're still in the same situation. So right now you've got to take control of your business, control of your income. And you need to stop being like, I'll just deal with it later, because there is no later. We're already in April. Can you believe how fast 2026 has gone? So make sure that you're connecting with a company that has a proven record like iHouse Web, who has been around for 30 years, who has a 4.9 star rating on Google, who specializes in making sure that you have the hyperlocal safe searches. Nobody in the industry does the safe searches for the cost, especially for the cost that they do it at, and the all-inclusive with the support team. I mean, the support team is unmatched. You know how it is. Trying to get a hold of support with some of these companies is annoying. So iHouse Web has some of the best support team, and you can see that reflected in all of their reviews. That's it for today, guys. If you want to build your online presence and create consistent lead flow, then make sure you're not making that big mistake that most agents make, which is putting all of your eggs in one basket and thinking that you have all the time in the world, and it's not a big deal. Stop relying on one source and maximize the system that you're using. If it's not working, take action right now. And if you're tired of guessing, well, then book a strategy call. And if you found this information helpful, then click that subscribe button so I can continue to make more free courses and trainings just like this one. See you next time.